Have you noticed that the price of food keeps rising? That the price of energy keeps rising? That finding a shelter, a rental, a home is getting more expensive, more difficult? That there are consumer goods products that simply aren't available anymore? Well, do you think this is ever going to stop? Do you think the government will ever stop being suffocating with its regulations and taxes? Do you think everything will ever return to normal and the world will stop burning? And if so, how much short-term pain will you have to endure for your own good so that the world can be saved? Decades? Your entire life and that of your children? These policies are not only not going to save the planet, but they're going to make it a much worse place to live. The solution is out there in the field. It's in self-sufficient properties that are self-sufficient in water and food. It's in trade between neighbors. It's in communities that support each other. And paradoxically, the solution is not only out there, but it's also there within you. The day you choose to leave the city, escape the absurd housing prices in major cities, and search for a town you like and find a rural area that appeals to you. In today's video, we're going to see how you can live very cheaply and without a mortgage in rural Spain by exploiting a blueberry plantation, which is already set up, it's 2 hectares, and having cows in the heart of Asturias. We're going to tackle 2 of the 3 main drawbacks when it comes to living in the countryside: telecommunications and income, with internet and a job that brings in money. We're on another self-sufficient farm in Asturias, which generates around 60,000 euros from annual blueberry sales. They have some incredible fields there. This farm has 32 hectares, 2 of which are planted with blueberries. On average, around 3,000 kilos are produced per hectare each year, and sold at retail for 12 euros per kilo. You could potentially sell 60 or 65,000 euros worth of blueberries in the first year, as there are already 2 hectares planted and more could be added. Certainly, as you gain more experience, you might learn how to improve and grow more blueberries or get higher yields. The world of blueberry cultivation and marketing is absolutely fascinating, and I've been able to research it for this video. Turns out the most common species in Spain is Buccinum mystillus, and I'll leave a link to the best guide I've found in the description below. If you're interested in this, you'll be able to plant even more. The land has the right pH, which is slightly acidic, and you have fertilizers everywhere. The rest of the farm has space for pasture, corn, or other fruit trees, and it's not very well optimized. If I were living here, in addition to doing a major renovation of the house and taking the mastiff to the vet, I would also plant corn in this area. Because in the countryside with cows or cattle, the secret is having your own food, having your own fodder for those animals. Because if you have to depend on someone to sell you the feed, and the feed isn't too expensive, you're absolutely done for. The magic they talk about in the countryside only happens when you can give your animals your own food from your land at a very low cost. That magic only happens when, in addition to having livestock, you have land to grow fodder. That's how you make a profit. There's a margin for investing in house renovation, a margin for replacing the cows, and a margin for investing in technology like the automated milking robot. Plus, these lands are next to communal lands where you can take your cows to graze every now and then. To your own cows, now that you have cows. The farm also has a stream where you could potentially build a mill, either for harnessing water power or grinding flour. Imagine not having to worry about water for your crops, since we're also in Asturias, a damp region without a history of drought issues. It's something that many farmers in Spain and around the world would dream of. So you have food, both plant-based and animals, soil, water, and of course internet. We've brought the internet here and we'll be testing it out with the help of Elon Musk. Let's see if we can get this farm connected to the internet. I always say it, the issue of rural Spain, the issue with villages and farms, is that without communication, who would want to live there? From the younger generation would want to live there. Of course, if you're older and you're used to it, you might not care. But we need connectivity, we need services, and this is where it starts. Antonio, as one of the key parts of any self-sufficient farm, is connectivity and telecommunications. We have brought a Starlink antenna, which we are about to test. We have electricity on the farm, we have the router, we are going to plug in the antenna. That is this speed test in a place that has never had internet, we agree. The internet has never reached this self-sufficient farm. Oh my gosh. Tell us you have something. 9, 10, 11, come on. How's it going? What's the best part? It works, maybe you won't have enough to upload a video to YouTube, but enough to connect everything you want, WhatsApp, to search on Google, to watch videos, to watch Netflix. We have internet. Yes, it has internet. We have internet. This house has never had internet in the whole history of mankind or the history of internet. The first time someone brings a router here, And honestly, there wasn't much, but we didn't work too hard on it. We didn't install it on a pole, which is what needs to be done, nor did we take it up a hill, nor optimize its position. I also didn't see the house from inside that an optimistic realtor would say is open plan, meaning it needs renovation and there's a lot of work to be done on this farm, but the place is beautiful. Broad. So we have internet for buying Bitcoin and for working. We have meat, we have milk, we have clean air, and most importantly, what Jurgi always asked for, water and land. But who would want to live here? Surrounded by your cows, your mastiffs, your land. A blueberry plantation that pays for everything. Maybe a small corn plantation here to feed the cattle. Breathing fresh air without listening to the neighbors. Your neighbors are the bells of your cows grazing up there. With electricity, free water, which is yours. And now the internet for all those digital nomads. You know what? If you want a slightly quieter life, if you don't want to have to pay a mortgage on a crappy flat in the center of the big city, which you really don't like, but you want to breathe fresh air and live quietly, working, now that you also have internet, I think this is a life option. I won't say it's an alternative because it mirrors the life most people have lived. The experiences most people have had over the last millennia has always been this. But it's a truly fascinating lifestyle choice. This is another chapter in how you can utilize the best of today's technology and the way of life that young people want, mixing it with the countryside, tradition, and good quality local food. Merging the new with the old, combining technology with what has always worked. I think it's increasingly becoming a very interesting choice for a young person to start a new life in Asturias. And now we're about to do the same. It's not an alternative lifestyle because historically the alternative, the odd thing, has been living in a city surrounded by so many people. So we have discussed everything this farm has to offer, but I also want to discuss what it lacks. There are no spatial constraints, 32 hectares. You don't have neighbors to bother you, no one to limit you. And for this price, you're not chained to the bank by a mortgage. So how much is this worth to you? If you're into this stuff, great. If you like what I'm saying, go to Max Magister's Telegram channel. I'll explain further, give you more details about this property and others. Because we're not just making lifestyle investments. We're also investing for profit for investors all over, both in Spain and in other countries. Can you see yourself living in the countryside? Let me know in the comments and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. See you in the next one. Ciao! Subtitles by the community of Amara.org technology in the rural world. I'm teaching cows how to surf the web and how to use GPT. We're visionaries, we're blending the very best of the rural world with the very best of the technological world.